we are going to obtain minimal polynomial for Galois field 16 with the primitive polynomial x raised to 4 plus x plus 1. So there are I think 4 minimal polynomials, 4 to 5 minimal polynomials for Galois field 16, and they have lengthy calculations. So in this video we will see the calculation for one minimal polynomial, and in another next videos we will see for other minimal polynomials. So it will not become overhead to you. So let us see the calculations. So we have already obtained these values for the primitive polynomial x raised to 4 plus x plus 1. So these element values are nothing but the elements in the form of power of primitive element and its mod taken with x raised to 4 plus x plus 1. So these values we have made one video on this, how these values come, but these values are like a mod of primitive polynomial values. That means you know that every field element can be expressed as a power of primitive element, and if you divide that primitive element, suppose for example in Galois field 16 there are 16 elements like 0, 1, alpha, alpha square, alpha 3, alpha raised to 4 up to alpha raised to 14. If you divide these elements, for example if it is alpha raised to 6, if you divide it with alpha raised x raised to 4 plus x plus 1, that means alpha raised to 4 plus alpha plus 1, then you will get that one remainder, and that remainder is this alpha cube plus alpha square. If you divide alpha raised to 7 with alpha raised to 4 plus alpha plus 1, then you will get one remainder, that is alpha cube plus alpha plus 1. So these values are like that. It is like a mod of, we say these values as mod of primitive polynomial. We have seen this in detail in one of the videos, so we will not go in that much detail. Still I have told you here also how these values come. So we have seen that alpha square, alpha raised to 4, alpha raised to 8 forms one set of conjugates. What is set of conjugates? That means this set belongs to one minimal polynomial. That means these 4 are the roots of one minimal polynomial. So we can obtain the minimal polynomial corresponding to these elements like this, that x plus alpha square, x plus alpha raised to 4, x plus alpha raised to 8. Now these calculations are a bit lengthy, but I will tell you the things that you have to remember at every step, so that it will not become more lengthy. So first you have to do this and this multiplication. So x square, then x is common, and alpha square you will get. X is common because x alpha and alpha square x. So you can write x and alpha plus alpha square. Alpha into alpha square is alpha cube. Here also x square, then alpha 4x, alpha 8x. So x into alpha 4 plus alpha 8. Alpha 8 into alpha 4 is alpha 12. 8 plus 4 is 12. Now after that you have to replace this with one of the value, because if you don't replace here, then again the calculation will become more lengthy, and it is not of any use. That means you have to take that value in terms of powers. So you have to see what is alpha plus alpha square. Alpha plus alpha square is alpha raised to 5. So it is alpha raised to 5 plus alpha cube. Then x square. Alpha raised to 4 is, here also you have to do the calculations, so that you will get one term out of alpha 4 plus alpha 8. So alpha 4 is alpha plus 1, this one. Alpha 8 is alpha square plus 1. Then 1 gets cancelled out because 1 plus 1 is 0. Plus alpha 12. Then it is same. After that here remaining is alpha square plus alpha. Now again alpha square plus alpha is, you need to replace it with alpha raised to 5 because you want to reduce the calculation. So alpha raised to 5. So in the earlier stages only, if you reduce the calculation, it will be easier for you to reduce the lengthiness of the calculations. So then again you can do these two brackets multiplication. So x square, x raised to 4. then alpha 5 x cube, then alpha cube x square, again this term and all these terms, alpha 5 x cube, alpha 10 x square, alpha 8 x, then alpha 12 x square, alpha 12 plus alpha 5, sorry, alpha 12 into alpha 5 means 12 plus 5, 17, 17x, 12 plus 3, 15. After that x raised to 4, x cube, common terms are 5, 5, x square common terms are cube, 10 and 12, x common terms are 8, where is 8, 8 and 17, then alpha 15, again 5 gets cancelled out, it is 0, cube is as it is because cube does not have alpha cube has mod value as alpha cube only. The mod value appears after alpha from alpha 4, because here in the equation x raised to 4 plus x plus 1, alpha is the root of primitive polynomial, so alpha raised to 4 plus alpha plus 1 is equal to 0, so alpha raised to 4 is equal to alpha plus 1. Before that you have to take the values as it is, that is alpha cube, alpha square, alpha. Okay, so where we were here, alpha cube is as it is, then alpha 10 is alpha square plus alpha plus 1, yes, then alpha 12 is alpha cube plus alpha square plus alpha plus 1, then alpha 8, alpha 17 is alpha 15 into alpha square, and we know that if it is Galois field 16, then alpha 15 is equal to 1, if it is Galois field 8, then alpha 7 is equal to 1. So alpha we have to take it as alpha 15, so we can replace it with 1. So alpha 17 is alpha 15 into alpha square, alpha 15 is 1, then x4 x cube 0, x square is all the terms gets cancelled out, so 0, then x, alpha 8, alpha 15 is 1, alpha square 1. Now alpha 8, this is 0, this is 0, alpha 8 is what, alpha square plus 1. Then again alpha square is there, and this is 1, so alpha square gets cancelled out, so then x4 plus x plus 1 is the minimal polynomial for the roots alpha square, alpha raised to 4, alpha raised to 8. So here you can directly write, or if there is an objective question, you can directly write the set the set where alpha is there, its minimal polynomial is x raised to 4 plus x plus 1. You should get this one only. Why? Because you know that primitive polynomial is also a minimal polynomial, but it has root alpha. So wherever in the set there is alpha, its minimal polynomial is 100% primitive polynomial, that is x raised to 4 x plus x plus 1, and the same we are getting here, x raised to 4 plus x plus 1. So this is the one minimal polynomial for the 4 elements of the Galois field 16. For other elements we will see in the next videos.